Hey guys, it's day 24 of 100 days of DSA challenge, and today we have the question repeated DNA sequences. So a DNA sequence can contain A, C, G and T letters, okay? And they can be arranged in any sequence, okay? So for example, this is a sequence which will be given to us, and what we have to return is all the 10 letter long sequences that occur more than once in the DNA molecule. So for example, this can be a 10 letter sequence, okay, and I have to see how many times it occurs. Like I have to return only those sequences which occur more than once, okay. So for example, in this we can see these 5 A's and 5 C's are once occurring here and then occurring here, so they are added in the answer. And then we can see that these 5 C's and 5 A's are repeating once here and once here, so we are returning it in the answer, okay. One thing to notice is that no matter how many times the sequence repeats, it is added only once in the final answer, okay. So even if these 5 A's, 5 C's were occurring 10 times, then also we are only adding it once in our answer. So the approach I'll use is a sliding window approach. So what we'll do is we'll initially take an empty string and I'll name it temp, okay. Initially the temp is empty. Now what I'm going to do is that I'll first use a for loop to get the window size 10, and I'll add the first 10 letters into temp. So these are the first 10 letters. I'll first add them into temp. So now temp contains these 10 letters. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my window once now. Okay, so I'll use a separate loop. See, first for loop is to find out these 10, okay, and then these 10 are added to temp. Now I'll use another loop. See, we are going to use a map also, okay. We are going to use a map. So this is a hash map we are going to use. And what will it contain? It will here contain the string, like the current string, which is temp, okay. The temp string will be here, and then it will have the frequency here, okay. So it will be string and integer type of hash map. So what we are going to do is first this will be added into the map, okay. So this whole 5a 5c 5a 5c, I'm not writing it whole, but you understand, 5a 5c, it will be added here in the frequency, okay. Then what I'll do is I'll use another for loop, and it will be for the sliding window. So now I'll do this will be my current temp. And how will I do that? I will simply push back the current. See, my pointer will be I, right? So when I'll use the next for loop, I will be here, okay. So now I'll simply push back the character at I, and I'll simply delete the character at the front of the string, okay, front of the temp. So the character at the first of the temp will be removed, okay. So now I'll repeat and I'll add this into hash map. So that will be 4a 5c 1a, that like it will be added in the map and the frequency. And then I'll move to the next iteration, okay, and simply cut this, erase this, and add this ith element, and then add it in the map, and so on. And at each iteration, what I'll do is I'll simply check that if the element already exists in the map, if the character already exists in the map, then I'm going to add that temp, add that current string into our answer, okay. So I'll basically take a vector answer of the type string. It will be empty at first, and anytime I'll see that my frequency is 2 here, anytime my frequency is 2, I'll simply add that particular string into our answer, and it will only be added if the frequency is 2, okay. So I'm not going to use the count function that if it exists then I'm going to add it into the map, because what the problem with that approach will be that if the string occurs more than two times, okay, like 3 or 4 times it occurs, then it will be added each time if I use the map.count, because map.count is simply going to return whether it exists in the map or not. And so that approach will not help us get the final answer, because it will repeatedly add the same string in our answer. So let's see the solution now. So I have taken a vector string answer, it is empty at beginning. I have taken a map string comma integer type, named it mp, then I have taken an empty string temp. Now this is simply that if string's length is less than 10, then you simply return the empty string answer, okay. Then I'll use a for loop to find the first 10 letters, to add the first 10 letters into our temp. So simply temp dot pushback SIth. Okay, simple. Then I'm going to increase the frequency in the map of the temp. Then I'll use from I equal to 10 till I less than strings length I plus plus. I'll simply erase the first from the temp. Okay, so basically this is removing the first letter of the temp at each iteration, and then this is adding the current element, okay, into the temp, and then simply increasing its frequency. And we are checking if the frequency is 2, then we are simply pushing back temp into the map, into the answer, and then we return the answer. So this was a pretty simple question by this approach. I hope you liked it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on day 25.